Hey there, I am JB, and in today's episode of Cities Skylines we are going to take a break from building into the big city because we are going to need to renovate this little area down here into something nice. But before we're going to touch that area, I would like to show you a mod that I've been downloading which I thought would be funny, and that is the first person auto walking 1.0. Now if you downloaded that mod, you're going to get a lot of stuff up here. It does block at me something that is down here, but I believe you got like a UI mod which you can shovel and place stuff around, but in this case I'm just going to take it. Now if you open this, it's got a lot of options. I've not really looked into that just yet because all I wanted is walk into my city and see things from the eyes of the city people. So in this case I'm just gonna press on tab, and yes, it is called an auto walking mod, but in this case if I would press WASD it would just stop with auto walk. There might be some options to just turn that off, but in this case I think it is really cool to see everything up close. Now of course my graphics are set to the lowest because the more you build the heavier it's gonna get, but basically you're going to get a better view of the things this game has to offer. And Cities Skylines 2, oh man, I can't wait for that. I have pre-ordered the game, I've watched a lot of videos, and it's going to be one heck of a fun. Now I would just like to go here because I believe this is somewhere the highest point, and then if I press tab here, you're gonna get right down here, and this is gonna give us like a nice view of the surroundings, because often from the top you don't really realize that there are hills and mountains and that kind of stuff. But this really shows that if you would walk here, what a view you're gonna get into the big city. All the way in the background for now we just have one large tower, but oh man, I just love this mod. And in the last video of Cities Skylines 2 where it was showing off cinematics and that kind of stuff in photo mode, it is already built in, so that is a fantastic little addition. And I also believe from right down here, if I would press tab and trying to find the little pathway that I built down here, I'm gonna get once again a nice view. Now all of the mods that I got in my game is into the description, and you can also press shift for sprint so you don't have to continuously wait. And of course the view that I always wanted to see up close is the view from our little starter town towards the big city. And once you just walk towards the end of the street, it is really going to pop up into the distance, and I just love it. It is so amazing. I mean, I can imagine someday there is going to be a mod which just allows you to add missions into the game, drive cars, just make your own Grand Theft Auto. But enough about that good stuff. We're just going to need to, you know, work on here. The plan I kind of explained the last time a little bit. We're going to change some roads. I'm going to have this industry right down here. I want to see if I can implement the office zone a little bit more nicer. Maybe I'm going to also get rid of the farm fields down here because it's a little bit tiny compared with a more realistic type of deal that we got right down here. Now the first thing that I would like to do is reconnect some roads, and man, I have checked out some of these videos of for example Biva Place or City Planner, and they did the first video on a fresh shape, and the amount of stuff that you could do is just insane. Which I spoke about that it would have been nice if you could add this road at the edge, right? It would be way more realistic if the 3-laner goes into the 2-laner, but have the 2-laner on this side of the road, and that is actually an option. Once you want to place this road at this road, you're gonna get 3 connection options, and if I would place it right down here towards over there, the line would perfectly connect up over there. I have also seen that it's an option to actually manually remove and re-add crosswalks, which is also fantastic. You're gonna get so much more options if it's about roading. It's amazing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Right, so in this case, yeah, let's just add this in straight ahead right on here and just fix it up like that. So this is the first road that we're going to have right down here. I don't want to spend like too much time on all of this stuff right down here. Now the next thing that I would like to do actually is connect this road also up to this road down here. That's why the farm area needs to change for a bit, because everything is, you know, not going to look correct anymore. And I have always been saying you should also not be afraid to have a little bit of grass, right? That would be realistic. And also counter this, it's just way too small, way too cramped up. It was fun for what it is at the beginning. We're just gonna disconnect all of these roads for now, and then it gives us the option. I only need to move this pillar right down here, like that, and then just give it a slight rotate. And then we should be able to connect this road down here. Yes, perfect. Alright, so now we have two ways to get into town, because this road right down here is gone. We're not going to use that anymore. And also these roads are gonna go away, and this guy along with that guy. Beautiful. So now we have some more space here. Also just going to delete all of these trees. I could have used the tree brush, which, you know what, let's just use that one. And so far it didn't look like that we're gonna get a tree brush, but maybe the developers will add this after, let's say, enough complaints, because a tree brush is just very nice. I actually would like to keep the padding a little bit down here, but I want to make it straight like that, and let's just connect it up like beautiful, just like that. All right, fantastic. And now let me just see here. It would also be nice if we create a same pathway that way, was is right around here, right around there, and then just connect you one from this angle. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna get myself lead by what it gives me. And you know what, let's also create a little pathway from, you know what, that angle to right down here. I think this will do for right now. And then we can also just fill in the blank once again, just like that, except let's just remove that one there, so it has a little bit of space between in the road. Now of course we got a lot of spacing left, but like I said, shouldn't be always afraid to add in a little bit of spacing here and there. This one on 0.40, and just cram in some trees here and there. And for anyone wondering why there hasn't been really a couple of uploads this week, that is because it has been really hot. Right now it is way cooler than it was last week, but it's still not enough for me to start sweating if I sit here for way too long with this PC blowing. Alright, now that is fixed. I actually would like to bring this road back to this area, and then that, and then we can just cram in a couple more houses like that. And you know what, just for the sake of the people not wanting to have like this roundabout in the backyard, I'm just going to leave that space open. We already added a couple extra housing, so just gonna add a couple of trees down in here, and if possible also a little pathway here and there like that, and like that. Beautiful. Alright, so then this is now its own, you know, little neighborhood without the busy road popping up and over, which isn't like something you see that often for a small neighborhood, that they just start building like an expensive bridge down here, to say. I have also been opening a poll onto my community tab of YouTube, and that is with the question: do you guys want me to start with the European team or with the American team? So far it seems to be that there are 4 votes for the European and there are 2 votes for American. In the end I will just do both per season, and I probably end up doing another season with everything through each other, depending on the DLCs that will come out. Alright, so now this is done. I believe they still have access. They still have access. I would actually like to move the industry right down here, and I wanted to implement a cargo train terminal. Now I just have to think, because it's going to be quite busy and there is not really a lot of space for on and off, unless I would really cram it up right down here, go underneath via tunnel out and do the same thing to go off again. So then these guys will have zero access to this area down here, but I could also still make an underground tunnel and connect it up to this down here or that one down there, in case, you know, some of these shoppings need to have supplies, right? Alright, and so many hot minutes later, this is what I came up with. I did change the on and off ramp underneath the ground also, because let's be fair, it didn't look that good. Let me see if I can show you some. So it is now going into a corner like that, a little bit more smooth and realistic. Also, I just like it to play around a little bit with the roading down here, because here you come onto it, you have two options. One, you need to go to the cargo terminal, or you're gonna go down here because you need to go to a factory. Now, I did not want this road to cross that road right over here. So I had in mind, what if you are here and you need to drop some cargo right down there? Let's just go off by the side right down here, then go underneath this road and come out on this side. I hope that will work out. And of course, right down here in the middle, you're gonna go into the tunnel and you can get out right down here, just in case, you know, you need to drop off some goodies here or there, or anything what fits your desire. I have also been connecting up some new piping and I'm looking at it. I actually added this road a little later on, before I just pressed the record button, because I thought there's enough space for that too. Alright, and looking at the comparison of the industry down here and the space I'm having, I think it's kind of 50-50. And let me just quickly, you know, get rid of all of this stuff right now I can, before more complaints start popping up. We're just starting off with this area right down here. And what is also going to be super duper important, just connect some power like that. You know what, let's just calm it down. Let's just start off with one of these. And one of the most important thing for now is going to be connecting up the train station. Let's take a long part here. Let's just first connect it here. Let's connect it right down there and then just smoothly. Yeah, why is it occupied? Is that the power? It is definitely the power, so let's get rid of that one. Connect this one like that. And that one like this. Okay, beautiful. So the one thing that I also did, maybe you can see it now, maybe not, but I actually have been smoothing out the ground right down here. I'm just going to put it onto landscaping. But basically, I have been flattening out this piece of ground right down here. So it is creating a little bit more of a nicer train connection right down here, rather than this starting off being into the ground and then have to work its way up in order to connect. So now the downfall is right down here. I think that's a little bit better. And yeah, down here it is going down, but I didn't want it to flat out the whole area. Just a little bit that here and there, it looks, you know, a little bit better. Now, of course, once this whole project is done and we're going to move our butts to the city, I might already start implementing, that even English, implementing, there we go, some train tracks towards to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to say, let's just go off right down here. Let's just see how we can connect it up all the way, you know, to this point to go into the city and connect stuff up. And also see like how are we going to turn around. The one thing I did see is that there is some train track here, so we could make like a nice looping already. I'm getting slowly but surely more demand for industry, and I'm also getting a little bit of demand for some other buildings. I just have to see where I can implement stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get rid already of the farmland, and I don't want to rush it. I just want to see like what is going to be nice, and you know, of course, what isn't going to be nice. You know, honestly, I like this way better. It's just so much more nicer to not have these small farm fields out here while there are big ones out there. And you know, the forest is kind of nice flowing this way. Now, let me just give you a closer look onto my plan down here. So right down here I got space for some commercial zone. Here, of course, it's going to be residential zone, also here. And then right down here, just a couple of office buildings. I might just, you know, extend it to this side. It's just up to see. I don't want to go too wild with this area, too much cramp up stuff. And of course, right down here, I just added 2 extra of these guys, and they should be able to handle the area. And for right now, I'm just leaving this area for what it is. Of course, I could just add in like a little bit of decorations right down here and right down here. I just have to see, but I want to add in some nice empty fields of grass in here. You have a nice overview for what's going on. Maybe a tree or 2 or 3. I just have to see. I also got rid of the district that I did have down here, and I actually basically extended this district right down here. So they got a couple of policy. I do believe it's like small business enthusiast, small business motivator. So basically they get motivated to sell some more stuff. I think that is what the whole point is of that. Yeah, low density commercial buildings, double the sales. It's got an upkeep of, you know, $2, but if you bring in more than it costs, it's always good. And of course, high tech housing, which is, you know, very good for land value, which is not too good, but I guess it's slowly over time getting more and more depending on how you handle the area. I think it will be a lot better sooner or later. So let me just fill in the blank and then surprise you with the total picture. And so on and so on. I think it is fine for right now. I have also added a couple of trees and bushes still to this area to just make it look less flat. I really like how it is right now. But if you have an idea what I can do with these empty grassland, and let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, I can also take a little look some of these special buildings and somehow implement them from, you know, this area into here, this area into here, etc. Now this area here is growing. I don't want to, you know, sit here another couple hours in the heat, and I will just let it be for now. The office zone, you know, it's nice. You just come here, you work here, you're gonna go here, you're gonna be relaxed with all the trees around you. It's way nicer. And also this industry down here works fine. There is no like long traffic hold down here. The trains are coming on and off to, you know, bring some new goodies and whatnot. I just, you know, this area is such a better look right now. I really love it. And so in this case, next time we are going to work onto the big city. Once again, I really would like to fill in the blank right down here and a little bit down here. So then we can start moving on to some new tiles.